going on, guys? It's Impre from Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of History Whip. I did try to record just then, but my dog unplugged my mic. So whenever that happens, it basically stops it from working properly. So I've always got to stop the recording and then start a new one. So let's get on to actual things. History Whip. As I used to say, it's always a series about talking about the past, sometimes talking about the future, because the future will technically be part of the past. But when you think of history, you think of, I'm not gonna lie, one of the first things that come to my mind when I think of history is old battlefields, like the Romans, the Greeks, Troy, stuff like that. But when you think of fun, you don't think of anything to do with them. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the first ever, to me, I'd say the first ever pranksters were people who were raised in Troy. Think about it. They tricked the enemy into taking a big horse statue. They tricked them into taking in a horse statue which housed loads of their own men. Yes, it's not a pretty image, but if you think about it, they actually did that and got away with it. But yet, you never see it like that. You always say Troy did a deed. Troy did something. It's rather annoying. Because the Battle of, is it the Battle of Troy? What's it called? Not Troy. Oh my god, I'm trying to think. The Trojan horse. I can't think who created it. I'm partially tired as it is, so you gotta bear with me on that one, guys. But basically, think about it. The Greeks had the god of wine and parties. There's so many Greek gods for different things, and yet we don't really hear much about them. We hear about the Clash of the Titans, Zeus and his brothers or gods that refuse to listen to their father. Then we have Perseus, Hercules, stuff like that. And yet, when we're asked why we like history, a lot of people go, because so-and-so had this was in their history, this is why they're the best. When you generally stop to think about it, history has changed so much throughout the years, and a lot of people still are hung up on the war side of history, which, don't get me wrong, is fun and exciting, yeah, but we're never taught mainly about, like, the nice parts. Like, we're taught about racism. Yeah, that's a good thing to learn about, but then we're taught about, and never taught about, what the fact that some people actually generally created a place to keep people like that safe. So it begs the question, why do we always seem to think it's better to show the bad side than the good? But in the end, it generally is how we're taught. You could be raised to know every single letter of the alphabet, but you could be not raised to know music. You always got to give up something equal in value to what you gain. And one of the best examples of that is alchemy. Alchemy was thought to be able to create the most valuable jewelry, but a lot of people risk their lives of others, just to get this jewelry. So it begs the question, was it really worth it? A lot of people will say yeah, because jewelry's expensive and only the rich have the right. But when you think about it, it's just something we don't really need. Jewelry tend to be kept as mementos from their family being passed down. But when we actually stop to think about it, jewelry is nothing but a piece of, well, in some cases just a piece of glass. Some other cases, piece of plastic. 9 times out of 10, it's just a piece of metal that contains history. It's like houses. Houses contain the history of the past owners, when they were built, everything like that. But we don't see that. We generally only see what we want to see. That's why it's quite weird when a lot of people go, history is only about the past. It's not. The past is part of history, but it's not all we should know. We should also know the future. Not like in psychic way, but we should also get to learn about our future through the actions we're taking now. A lot of people go to, let's say, fortune teller for advice on love. All they're doing is just giving you a fortune. Anyone could do that, but you take their advice. You take what they say with ease. You don't even try to hide the fact that you're happy that they give you advice. You just take it. But what happens when you do take their advice? Does it change anything? No, it doesn't. The only difference is, when you take their advice, you're actually taking the advice of what they believe you need to in the future. So, as always, the gold. So, that's why I asked the question, should we really only be thinking about the past, or should we be thinking about the future? Personally, the future tends to be known as the brighter side, so I'll say the future. But why? Because when all's done and dusted, the future is where we look to get the help, get the resources, get the advice to carry on. A lot of people don't have that help. But on that note, I'm actually going to end the episode because I just realised how long I've been taking. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you have, leave a like, comment, subscribe. And guys, I'll see you all next time. Bye.